Good morning everybody and happy Vlogmas day 22. So firstly I just wanted to thank everybody who's commented or who sent me messages following my vlog yesterday. Yeah, it was a bit of an emotional day, but I'm absolutely fine and thank you so much. I'm really pleased that it sort of touched your hearts a little bit and that there's quite a number of people out there with similar experiences and similar circumstances, and it's just nice to sort of know that you're not alone. So yeah, thank you for that. Anyway, I'm up really late today and I've not had the opportunity to open my advent calendar yet, so we're going to do that in a minute. I have finished my daughter's quilt. I'm so chuffed. Got it all totally quilted. I've got the binding on. What I did do was I had a couple of fat quarters of yellow stripe cotton in my stash, which I made some 2-inch bias binding from, and I've used that. I've put it all together, a bit scrappy, and oh god, my arm's aching, and yeah, I've managed to use that, so that looks really good. So I'm really happy with it. It's in the wash at the minute, so I can't show you it, but as soon as it's out and it's dry I will show you the finished product. But I think she's going to be really pleased with it. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's handmade. So yeah, so let's go open my advent calendar. Now the other thing is today I've been really blessed that while I've been finishing off the quilt, my lovely hubby has done loads of cleaning downstairs for me, so that's really nice, which has just allowed me that time to get that finished. But on the negative side, discovered that after the food shop yesterday that there's a few bits that we didn't pick up, so that means we're going to have to go face the hoards today and get the remaining bits and pieces that we need for Christmas. So as if I haven't spent enough already, but anyway, so we're planning to do that shortly. But first let's go open my advent calendar and see what I've got today. 22, where are you? There you go. What have we got today? The eyes have it. Okay. More eyeliner. So we're back from shopping. It's done. Everything's done now. We've got everything. So really happy with that. It means I can just hibernate for the next day or two before going back to work Monday morning. Come back though, and the postman's been, and there is a, let me just pan out a little bit, there's a parcel that I'm not expecting. So I'm going to open this and see what it is. I have no idea what this is. No idea at all. It's been wrapped really well. Ooh. Oh, it's a Christmas present. And I'm really tempted to open this now. I have no idea who this is from, but because it's wrapped, I'm going to put it under my Christmas tree and I'm going to open it Christmas morning. So whoever has sent me this, thank you so much. I can't wait to open it Christmas morning, but it's going to go under the Christmas tree. Right, so I've come up into my sewing room, and as I've mentioned loads of times already, my daughter is coming on Christmas Eve and will be staying in here, so I need to get this place really tidy and cleaned. My sewing machine is still downstairs at the minute, obviously from when I've just been finishing off her quilt. So before I bring it back upstairs, I'm just going to get this place shipshape and tidied up so that it's clean, tidy and clutter free, ready for when she comes on Monday. So that's my plan for the next probably couple of hours, looking at the state of this place. Okay, so the sewing room is tidy and clean. I don't think I've ever shown you my sewing space before, so I thought I'd just quickly show you. It is really small because it's the smallest room in the house, so it doubles up as the now spare bedroom as well. So anyway, I'll show you a quick look round. So this is the space as you come in. There's double wardrobes there that store some clothes from my daughter before she moved out, etc. I've got some boxes of patterns just stored there currently because there's nowhere else to put them until the wardrobes are sorted out. I've also got some tubs full of fabrics there. There's all sorts there. This is my fabric stash. All the jerseys are on top there, and then all the wovens are there, and yes, it's enormous and quite overwhelming at the minute, and it's starting to give me palpitations, I'll be honest. So I am going to have to be on a severe fabric ban, I think, for the time being until I get some of this down. But yeah, I'm pretty embarrassed by it, if I'm honest. But yeah, there's plenty to be going at. Then further round, obviously, there's the bed. There's a few bits and pieces under the bed, mainly my daughter's, and I've got a couple of books on the window ledge there, plus my flamingo. You all know how I love flamingos. A few magazines there and some interfacing. This big bag here is full of old bits of wool and yarn, that kind of thing. There's my embroidery unit, and there's a couple of unfinished objects underneath that which I need to get done. These shelves here are mainly craft projects. They're not very tidy at the minute. There's some sea salt fabric up there as well, but lots of that is sort of craft, fat quarters, etc, etc. This shelf, there's a few more patterns on there. I think they were the ones that I was going to sell, and some cotton as well, threads and little bits of haberdashery, etc, notions and things, but they all need sorting out. I need better storage solutions for those. Moving round to some shelves above my sewing table there. There's more patterns there, mainly PDFs, but there's also some of the big four in some little tubs there. Then I've got one of those IKEA pegboards at the back with all my scissors and tape measures and some threads that I use really regularly there as well. Then I've got a little notice board there that's got a few bits and pieces on there. I've got some buttons and some of my sewing pins, etc. on there. I've got my desk, which is an IKEA trestle table. It's got obviously both my sewing machine and my overlocker on there. At the back I've got a little rose gold storage thing that's got a few books and quick reference guides for my machines when I'm sort of at a loss as to what I need to do next. A few bits and pieces on my sewing table, pins, and in that Nescafe gold tub there I've just stored all my needles for the time being, my sewing machine needles, and pens, etc. At the back behind my computer I've got ribbons and bias bindings and buttons, and then yep, there's my computer there. Underneath there's a couple of storage cubes that's full of, that one's full of overlocker cones and a few other bits and pieces, and then that one is full of elastics and other notions and bits and pieces, and then there's a few more threads underneath there as well. This chair I found on eBay a couple of years ago. It's a really old chair that I think it cost £5 or something like that, and I recovered it in this sort of crushed velvet fabric that matches my bedroom, not this one, and then painted it in some Old English, I think it's a Farrow and Ball paint that I got, and I really like it. It's lovely. It's nice to sort of do up old furniture. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, it's, as I say, it's not huge. It's a small space, and it quickly gets overwhelming. So I'm thinking that in a couple of years' time, when my son probably goes off to university, if he moves out, I will look at moving into the other room. The only thing with this room is that this is, it faces the rear garden, and our garden is south facing, so we get the sun all day, so there's lots of natural light in here during the day, which is lovely. Whereas the other room, which is opposite to this one, faces the front, which is more north facing, so it's darker. So although this is a small space, I do think the light in here is better excuse me, for sewing during the day. So we'll have to see. I've got my summer house in the garden, but that was never intended to be a sewing room or craft room, but I may need to look at that. I think the plan is after Christmas and in the spring we're going to look at boarding that all out and putting some proper insulation in there. So I think once we've done that, we'll see, because let's be honest, I don't think I'm ever going to stop buying fabric because I'm just a bit addicted to it, and there's just so many nice fabrics, and I can't sew quick enough than I can buy, so that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, I haven't got room for any more fabric in here now, so not until my daughter decides that she's finally moving and empties these wardrobes, because if we got these wardrobes emptied, I could store more fabric in there. So yeah, that's my little sewing space. But you know, at least I've got a space. I appreciate that lots of people don't have a spare room available for a sewing room, and certainly when my daughter was living at home I didn't. So it's quite nice to have this space, as small as it is, and at least it's my own little dedicated space. But anyway, back to the here and now. Obviously my daughter's coming on Monday, so at least she can get in and sleep, which is a good thing. So that's my sewing room. The postman's been back. So yeah, these, I wanted to show you these because I ordered these about a month ago, and the dispatch notice said that I would get them on the 5th of January, but they've actually come today. I've basically had my own sewing labels, clothing labels done, and they've arrived, and I'm so pleased with them. I got them from Wonder Label. I don't know if you've heard from them, but I will put a link to them down below. And I've ordered 50, and these are them here. I don't know if that's going to show up very well. There we go. So yeah, just plain black with silver lettering, but I think they're fab. So I've got 50 of those anyway, and I'm going to stitch them into everything that I make. So yeah, really pleased with those. So we're almost at the end of day 22 of Vlogmas, and I just thought I'd round things off today with a couple of things that I finished to show you. I've made another project bag this afternoon. I've been meaning to make these for ages because I've got a few knitting and crochet projects on the go, as you know, and nowhere to store them, so they're just lounging around in the living room creating a mess. So I've made this afternoon. I've had this fabric a while, and because I've got my new little labels today, I thought I'd add a little label to my project bag, and I've added a little, I don't know if you can see that very well, it's a little snowflake stitch marker. We'll just see if that's going to focus in. Is it going to focus? I don't know why my camera won't focus. There we go. So yeah, we've got a little snowflake stitch marker. So yeah, the bag is fully lined, as you can see. Fully lined inside in this gorgeous snowflake print, and yeah, really happy with that. So I'm going to make another one of those. Let's just come back into focus. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to make another one of those this evening, I think. And then finally, there we go, back in focus. Finally, my daughter's quilt is out of the washer and dryer, and I thought you'd like to see it. So I am absolutely delighted with this quilt. I'm just finding the odd little thread here and there. In fact, there's more than the odd one. There's quite a few loose threads on it still that I'm going to have to try and get rid of. But yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with it. I've just shown it to my son, and straight away he said that she will absolutely love it. So let me just stand back and I'll show you. Here it is. Here's the finished quilt. So if I bring it closer, I don't know if you can really see the free motion quilting on there, whether it's coming up very well. You'll probably see it better on the other side. There we go. So yeah, that's all my own handiwork with the free motion. I'm quite pleased with it. It's quite well. It's very heavily quilted though, as you can probably see. The binding, this is the binding that I used. As I say, it was a fat quarter that was in my stash, and I'd got two versions. I'd got that stripe and then that stripe. I'll show you the join there. You can see those two different stripes there. So basically I cut lots of bias cuts of both stripes and then stitched them together and used it to bind all the way around. They are my mitered corners, if you can see. Excuse the chip nail polish, I need to redo my nail polish. But I'm really pleased with how those miters have come out. They're not perfect, but they're better than they were on my tree skirt. So that's another one just there, look. So all in all, I'm really happy with this, and I think when she opens this on Christmas Day, I think she's gonna love it. Oh, let's just come back into focus. There we go. So yeah, I think on Christmas Day when she opens this, she's just gonna love it. So really, really pleased, and I'm amazed that I've managed to get it done. So that's it from me today. Tomorrow the plan is I'm going to make some mince pies and probably get back to a little bit of selfish sewing again. Now I've got all my Christmas presents made. I've chosen this pattern out of my stash that was a free one with a magazine for the A-line skirt. I'm going to have a go at that. This was one that I was going to throw away, to be honest, but I thought, well, I can use this pattern. Don't like the length of it at all. I think it's I don't think it's a very flattering length, so I'm probably going to make it just a little bit shorter. But I'm going to use that floral needle cord, the gold coloured one that I showed a few vlogs back, to make that skirt, I think, that I can wear with a polo neck. So that's the plan tomorrow. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of day 22, and yep, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.